What's up, guys? Paul from Golfers Authority. Welcome to the Behind the Golf Brand podcast. We are on episode 88. Holy crap, 88. That was the year I was born. I wish. Just kidding. But today, I have my friend Reinholds Pirags from HackMotion. I've actually been working with HackMotion for like 3 years. It's been a long time. And I have never got to be face to face with Reinholds before, so this is kind of cool because I was like, oh my god, that's what you look like. But today we're talking about HackMotion and kind of what they've been up to, where they're going. It's a really cool tech device for golf. It's like super cool, and
Thanks, Paul.
I
Great
can't
to be
wait
here.
to share it with them. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for inviting.
So where are you located?
So we are based in Europe, in a small country called Latvia.
Where's
And
Latvia?
like always
It's in the
emphasize it.
Baltic, right?
Yeah, it's in the Baltics and Northern Europe.
So like, who touches you then? Like to the
So we're
south, what is
actually
that?
three Baltic countries. So we are
Yeah.
by the sea: Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, and
Oh, that's
opposite the
right.
sea there's Sweden and Denmark, and then there's Finland and
You're like super close to Sweden, right? Like because it's like
yeah,
just across the water, essentially.
yeah. You can take a ferry there.
Like, how far of a ferry ride is it to Sweden from where you're at?
Usually people take it overnight ferry, so they get in the port in the evening. I think then they
Like in Stockholm or
overnight.
something?
Yeah, exactly, to Stockholm. That's a popular route. Then you spend a day in Stockholm.
I'd love to live there. That'd be so much fun. Like, because like everything's so close in Europe that you just can take a flight and you're there like in an hour, or you just take a train and you get there in a couple
It's
hours.
like
I
in
don't know,
the
man.
Euro trip movie.
Yeah. So, did you grow up in Latvia?
Yes, yes. So this is my home country.
Um, Now are you a golf pro?
I'm not professional. I used to be a competitive amateur, not anymore. So I used to play as a junior a lot, and was in the national team. So I got a lot of great experience playing then, but
So
unfortunately don't
you
have
were good
that
like
now.
growing up, right? Like
Yeah,
you
I really got, I think, got this golf bug, or how would you call it? That as a teenager, I just spent all my time, on the summers on the golf course, and played, several rounds a day, just hitting 10 buckets a day and practicing and competing. And I love that. I really love the aspect of that you can just work on your own, because I used to play tennis as well, and in tennis you always needed a partner, and you needed to rent the court, and it was either you were paying for a coach or for the court, and when that also got quite expensive. But in golf I could just come in the morning and
I never
practice
really
all day.
thought about it like that. Like, you can just go play golf by yourself. Like, it's the only sport you can just go play by yourself. You can go practice by yourself. Like, you don't need anybody with you. You
Yeah, I love that.
And
Like, you just perfect the shot, just hours hitting balls and trying to get the shape that you want, and then next day go competing. Well, in tennis you needed, like, you have a tournament tomorrow, but so how you gonna get better? You're gonna take a whole court, like rent a court and a coach for several hours to try to work on your forehand. That wasn't really an option.
so, but you got pretty good then, right? If you made the national team, like, what's that like?
Yeah. So we traveled some international tournaments in Europe. Went to the World Teams Championship in Australia.
Holy crap!
So that was really cool. Ricky Fowler was playing in that World Championship as well. So I got to watch him. I quickly understood that he's better than me. So
You're like, oh crap, this is different.
yeah, these are the guys I'm up against. So
What countries were good in that? Like
actually,
U.S.,
it was a very
UK.
interesting tournament. US came second and Scotland won. So it
Oh,
was
that's
kind of
cool.
this upset, and Scotland had a really good team, and the whole course was kind of this links type of course. So I think the Scottish team had a really,
Advantage.
like, maybe even a bit of advantage. So it was really windy. It was really fun to watch the shots that they're playing in those conditions. And I think
They're
Sweden,
totally used to that, right? Super windy. It's a linked course. Like, that is literally
yeah,
solid.
yeah, yeah. They were hitting these low stingers, and using the Americans were just hitting these maybe high spinny shots that weren't
And they just go
weren't
over to the right because the wind catches the ball.
yeah.
So where
So
was
it
that in
was really,
Australia?
Yeah, that was in Australia. That was a really nice tournament in Adelaide.
Oh, Adelaide. That's a long ass flight, dude. Latvia to Australia. I couldn't
Yeah,
imagine that
yeah.
flight. That's probably just as far though, like the United States, like from Arizona to Australia. So when did you like when did that happen? Like what year was that?
I think that was 2008. Yeah,
So then were you in college at the time or what were you
I was
doing?
actually finishing high school then,
Holy
and then
crap.
that was yeah, a nice way to finish.
So you graduated high school and then did you go to college?
Yeah, I went to college. I actually studied, economics and business and finance, and I didn't have that much time for golf because I was really busy studying. And then later on, after graduating, I started playing more, and I met Atis, who's a PhD in electronics, and they were specifically looking for a team member for entering the golf market and building a sensor that can help professionals and also amateur players to basically learn better motion. In this case, golf. We also did baseball a bit, and golf has been going really well. So we haven't that much focus on baseball, but we also have a product there with some major league teams also using it. So, we're focused on golf at the moment, and yeah, we're all the Metatis, and they needed a team member, and I was looking for the next challenge, so we joined up.
So did you go to college in Latvia?
Yeah, it's actually a very good. It's a Swedish founded college and founded and funded. So
Mhm.
Sweden wanted to help the region to develop, and then they made this really good business and economics kind of. It's a quite small school. It's not like a huge university, and it was specifically focused on that. So all the studies were also in English. So that was really
Really?
good experience.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, everything was in English then.
Interesting.
So met
So
like, yeah.
so then how many languages do you speak? I bet you speak a bunch of languages.
No, unfortunately, like I'm quite actually poor at this. I studied German and French in school, but I'm quite terrible at that, and of course Russian as well a bit. But I'm quite as bad at that as well. So I would say English and
And
Latvian usually.
English, like right? I mean, that's like four languages right there.
Yeah, well, I can read the menu, so in a restaurant that helps.
The menu. It's like a bunch of symbols to me. I don't know. Like upside down G's and whatever. I don't know. Um so when you're in college, you weren't really playing golf at all, right? Like you started getting busy and you're
Yeah, I
probably
was
playing for fun
actually
every once in a
working in
while.
summers more, and really I was paying a lot of attention to my studies. So I knew if I want to play golf, it's like if you want to play golf competitively at like scratch level or close, then you need to be really practicing a lot. So you don't have time for that. So I kind of took my studies as my priority.
Yeah, that was your job. That was your main focus. So you graduated from school, and is that your first job? Like, so HackMotion, what is that? A company owned by the company you went to work for, or is that a company that was started up afterwards?
No, we it's At is the PhD with two other
Yeah,
founders, and I
yeah.
joined basically the founding team later on. They initially actually tried they tried to make something for snowboarding, and they built a full costume for snowboarding. But the problem there was that nobody really who's snowboarding wants to invest a lot in development of their skills, unlike golfers. So basically they got feedback that, hey, golf is a really great sport where a lot of these technologies are working. So they thought, like, what's the free niche there? And that the wrist is something that's really important as it controls the club face. And there's no really good tool that would be measuring what the wrist is doing, what the club face is doing. And then they built a product, and I joined the team on the sales and marketing side because of my let's say experience with
Skills.
the golf, yeah, and understanding what are the needs, and also helping, of course, to build a better product. So yeah, that's the
So
short
the
story.
Are there other products that they are making still? Like, so there's a baseball product too, right? But they're not really
So
pushing it.
yeah, so we basically thought like, what are other sports? And baseball is using a lot of those similar tools. Like they're using TrackMan, Rapsodo, things that also golf pros use. And we built a product for teams to use, and coaches were buying it. But we understood that, let's say, if we keep developing two products, we're going to be splitting a lot of attention. So we are using the product, like coaches are using the product, they are testing it, but we are not pushing really the sales a lot, and we're not marketing it that much because we really want to focus
You want
mainly
to be
on
hyper
golf.
focused
Yeah, to
on
get
one
really
thing first.
bigger in
Yeah.
the golf market, and get into the mainstream, and then we'll grow the team for other sports as well.
So is the technology for the baseball similar in technology for the golf, just for baseball,
Yeah,
or is it a
actually,
completely
it's
different
quite
product?
it's really similar, because like the hardware, you can put it again on your lead hand and wrist. What is the difference is the software, and what are those, what we call swing detection algorithms, that it automatically detects when you're making a swing motion and captures the data. Because if you'd have to every time press record button, it would be
No one's gonna
quite
do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
nobody can do. You just want to swing and see the data. So you make specific algorithms for golf or for baseball, and of course the data that a player is interested is different for baseball and golf. So in, let's say, baseball, like there's different swing faults, like rollover, for instance, so you can measure exactly when the player started rotating, and how much he rotated before impact. While in golf, for a lot of coaches really interested in flexion extension, how much the player in the backswing is cupping the wrist, and how much he's bowing it in the downswing, and then we can compare it to tour data, and see how you compare. So the metrics are different, the software is different, but overall the principle is you measure what the wrist is doing by placing sensors both on the forearm and on the hand, on the palm, and then it measures the how the wrist is moving.
So how long has HackMotion been around? Like, when did it start?
So it's been around for something like 5 years, but for initially it was snowboard product, and there was a product for shooting actually, and then I joined around 4 years
Oh, I
ago
see.
when we entered
When I started
the
talking to you, pretty much like right after
yeah,
you
yeah. So
started.
we were at the very beginning actually. So we had just built the product, and we were reaching out to people who are interested to spread the word, and see what we built.
So, like, initially when the HackMotion first came out, that was about 4 years ago. Well, like, what was the response? Was like people like, "Whoa, what the heck?"
So actually, it was really surprising how positive the response immediately was, and how much, like, there were coaches, like top coaches in the world, Golf Digest 50, top 50, and they were saying, "Okay, I'll make this is great. This is exactly what we've been lacking. Like it's a under-researched area, like because the wrist is super important as it controls the club face, and basically club face determines where the ball is flying." And there had been these more kinematic sequence focused sensors that measure how your whole body works, but a lot of coaches were saying they are too long to set up, and they need something simple that can work in the background, like as this passive like a launch monitor. Like everybody loves using TrackMan and similar tools, because they just give you this data. It's easy to interpret, and it doesn't affect your. You can hit the balls and not think about it too much. So that was actually a lot of our inspiration. So, and yeah, the feedback was really good, and a lot of these top even tour professional coaches were just writing and inquiring about it. And that was really actually great to see that we built something that's really interesting and valuable for the top players and top coaches, and they just were ready to help us also spread the word. And we didn't have to like some companies would have to try to get like huge endorsements of some tour players, and we just got or coaches, but we just got it basically for free, this publicity, and that really helped us to grow initially.
So essentially, like, the coaches were like, "Oh, this is cool." Like this is something that's not
Yeah,
out
this is
there.
like,
We
okay,
can
this is
use this.
something
This is a
talking.
tool we can use. Like that
Yeah.
is not, you
Yeah,
know.
you can, because the wrist, you can't, like when you make a video, you can't see exactly how it moves. So there are all kind of these nuances and differences between players. And they were saying like, okay, like I've been trying to teach this for years, and this tool shows exactly what's happening, and it has this audio signal that provides feedback when you're doing the thing that the coach or you want to do. And let's say you're too cupped at the top, and you just say, okay, I want to be flatter, so you just input the range that you want to be in, and it will provide you instant feedback on whether when you get it right, and you can adjust it. And like different coaches have slightly different preferences, so they can adjust those. And also different players like on tour also hit with a bit different release types. So that was also really interesting to learn so much. We tried to create a lot of educational content by top coaches like Scott Cowes from Canada, or a great tour coach and a great educator of other coaches, has created really nice series of webinars explaining how are the different release types among players, and which ones you should be trying to use when.
So if I was a golfer, not a coach, right? I buy the HackMotion. Like how does it work? Like I'm just a layperson, right? Like what is the theory and how does it work and why does it matter?
Okay, so for actually for like an average typical golfer, we've made a special mode which we call the Clubface control mode. So the sensor measures what your lead wrist is doing, and what it does is opens and closes the club face. So a typical golfer would struggle with club face control. He's opening and closing it too much during the swing, so it's hard to be consistent, and it's hard to hit the same shot shape or direction
Every
every
single
time.
time, right?
Yeah, exactly. While professionals are actually, most of them, with some exceptions, are using much like a narrower range of those wrist angle movements, and there's certain patterns which they control, what we call flexion extension, which the typical terms are bowing and cupping of the wrist. It's basically opening and closing the club face. So they open and close the club face less, so they hit it straighter.
But guys like
And
me don't. We're all over the place, right?
yeah,
Like, or
exactly. Like you'd
who
see
knows?
it.
Like, one shot you can have really good, the next shot could be complete crap, and it's just because you could have.
Yeah, the club face is all over the place. It's just very hard to be consistent. And what we do then is this club face control mode is we tell you, okay, you have to be this range in the backswing. Like, don't change your backswing club face opening, closing rate too much. And in downswing, what you do is you need to close the club face. And it's better to do
But
it
does it
like
teach you
consistently
how to
and
do
gradually.
that? Like, does it
Yeah.
show you like, or does it make a noise like, okay, you went too far? Or are you looking at what are you looking at, an iPad, or like, what are you doing? Like, if I was at a range or I was in my house, like, how do I do that?
So we have an app for Android and iOS, and you basically take a swing, and it provides you whether you are inside or outside the range. And then we actually, a new feature that we've implemented is it provides you a tip what you need to change, and there are certain drills that you can do. Most popular one is actually the motorcycle drill. So if you imagine you put your hand on a throttle, of you do like this adding gas.
Yeah, like that thing.
So yeah.
Yeah, like
So
you're
you basically
throttling.
bow the wrist at the top, and you close the club face, and that's really helpful for guys who are struggling with slice, which is basically caused by open club face coming out to in and adding side spin. So you close the club face earlier, so you don't have to close it at the last second. So you gain consistency and also better, you know, uh,
So
club
do you
to.
have to take like a full swing for it to show you like what just happened, or is it like in real time, or like if I was just
It
sitting here moving
both.
my wrist, you'll see it moving, be like,
Yeah, exactly. It has real time.
happened.
It goes real time data, provides real time data, and this audio feedback also is real time, and it also provides post swing feedback. So it's both. You see it
So if
real
I had the
time.
iPad in front of me on a stand, right, and I'm like doing my motion, right, whatever my motion
Yeah,
is, and going to the backswing, I can see on the monitor on the iPad like what my wrist is doing, right, and I can say, like, oh
exactly.
crap, I'm way open. Oh, okay, and I should say, okay, So you can get instant feedback and be like, okay, I need to actually close it a little bit, and kind of so you start getting the muscle memory of like that's
Yeah.
where it should be, not where I'm at. Right?
Exactly. So that's
That's
really helpful
cool.
because a lot of players don't
You have no
understand the
freaking
technique.
idea. You have
Yeah,
no
it's like
idea.
this feels good to me, and I'm
Zero.
doing it, but they're just like way open, and obviously they
They
can't.
think their feet are wrong, or they think like they're not set up at address, and it could be like everything's fine. It's just that like you're all over the place with your wrists,
Mhm.
or you're not holding the club right or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So okay, so like I'm in a swing, and I can watch in real time. It show you like, does it say like, oh, you need to be at a certain like, is it a color coding system or is it numbers? Like, what does it show people?
It's again both. It both shows numbers, and we color code them. Green is good, you're in the range, and then yellow is you're a bit out of range, and red you're like quite a lot out of range. So and then it gives you like a range. Let's say we give like 15-degree range, and you have to, if you want to hit like what we see average tour players are doing with their wrists in the backswing, not changing that wrist extension too much, then we just say, okay, here's the 15-degree range, try to get into it, get in the range, and if you're out, then it will like give you
Like,
okay,
could you
red
just
number.
practice like going from address, like, full address to like backswing, and just keep on seeing like, okay, like is there a way of seeing that in real? I mean, it's not like you can see it in real time, obviously,
Yeah,
but like
exactly.
almost like just practice that movement and be like, oh
Yeah.
no, oh no, oh no, and keep on doing it
Yeah.
over and over and over again, and be like, oh, that's where it's supposed to be at. Okay, now I
Yeah.
see it. And then you start practicing just that motion. Is that
Exactly. It's like I myself actually struggle with that. I'm like opening my club face way too much, and then I used to, and now I'm actually working really much more on my swing, and then it's really great when it provides that feedback. Like you hear it when there's this tune playing, that means that you're in the correct range. So you sometimes don't even have to watch the numbers, you just input those numbers, and it will
oh,
provide
it'll make
you.
a noise like a
Yeah,
woo or whatever.
exactly. It's
I
like
don't know what that is, but
when you're doing it right, and then it stops playing it when you're doing it wrong.
that's cool. Because
Yeah.
that's the problem. Like for guys like me, well, a lot, I have so much trouble in my backswing right now. It's like ridiculous. Like because I was self-taught, and then now I'm changing my swing to like actually rotate my body and not come over the top. And so it's kind of like I don't know like how far do I go over, and all these are like it's a completely new swing, and it's like not knowing
Hmm.
where and what and how.
Yeah.
Um,
Tiger has actually a great video on feel versus real. Like he had this series, My Game. So he talks in one of those like about feel versus real, and what you feel you're doing is not what you're actually doing, and it's just what you're used to be doing. So you feel
so
that
that's
you're
so true, dude. Because like I'll record my like I'll go play golf, and I'll record the whole game, right? And I'll watch, and like I'll have a good shot, and then I look back at that video, and I'm like, holy crap! Like that was my old swing. My elbows, my elbows up in the air. I'm like, that was a horrible shot. I just got lucky, or it's like it's not what you think you're doing. You
yeah,
know.
exactly. It's impossible really to you know get a feel for what you are actually doing. It's just what you used to be doing.
Yeah, and unless someone's there and be like, "Oh, you lift your arm up," it's like, "Did I?" 'Cause I don't feel like I did, or I didn't really.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool because I mean, I have a training aid that I bought. I don't know, like a couple months ago. It's really basic. It's kind of neat though. It has like essentially it's like two lasers, right? So like there's a laser pointing down the club face, and there's a laser going up the club
Hmm.
shaft, and you can kind of see like what your plane is, right? Like
Yeah.
but like but what you're saying is like you can actually see if you're more if what's going on with your wrist, and if you're like opening it or closing it or twisting it, and now I guess my question is, does grip have a lot to do with this issue, like the way you grip the club? Is there,
It
what I'm
does.
saying?
What we do is like a lot of players ask us, is there one perfect number? And it's not. It depends on your grip. So guys with weaker grips, like Jordan Spieth, will not naturally have more flat wrist or bowed wrist at the top, while guys with stronger grips will have a bit more copy. So we adjust it in the app automatically. But in general, you need a solid grip, and it actually shows you if you're too weak then your numbers will be very low. It's going to be very flat.
Well, what about if like everyone grips the club differently, right? Like you have the
Yeah,
Varden grip and you have like the baseball grip and all that crap like that.
yeah.
Like, is there a specific type of gripping the club that is better than others, or does it matter? Because once you set up the software and once it kind of correlates with everything, how you grip the club, now it's just measuring what your wrists are doing.
So we tried not to because go in too much into the grip because it's quite individual. So we say more
Yeah.
what okay, you gripped it. We say that's good, like, and then we go from there, seeing what you're doing. But if you see that your numbers are, let's say, like very extreme, then often it is that you're actually gripping it wrong. So that's also something you can adjust, and you can look at what are the ranges typical for tour players as well. Like they're usually a bit cupped at address.
Does it matter what kind of grips you have? Like, have you seen any kind of data, or like if it's an oversized grip versus like a regular grip? Like, does any of that take into account with the wrist?
We've actually seen some interesting data, like Bryson DeChambeau, for instance. His
Yeah, like he
HackMotion
has
data.
those Jumbo Max. They're huge
Yeah, yeah.
grips.
So
They're
he
really
has
cool grips, by the way. They're very
so
comfortable.
he has specific release, which is probably influenced by the fact that he has those grips.
So essentially, somebody can get the HackMotion, right? You put it on, it probably calibrates right to your wrist and the way it's set up, and then at that point you can start going through. Is there drills, or is it just like data? Like what does the software show you?
So the software shows again both. It shows first the data, like, okay, are you inside or outside the range? Let's say you are outside the range because you are having too much extension at the top, and then it gives the drill. Like it says, hey, here's a great drill by Coach Tyler Farrell. So he's made a video for you with three different types of drills that you can use and the ranges, and he
That's
shows
cool.
those drills, and then you can apply them and work, like take a swing with HackMotion. See the numbers usually are going down. You're getting closer to the range, and then you can just try to, say, get 5
Like you
shots
don't
in a
even need a
row.
ball, right? You could just be doing the motion and just swing the club,
Yeah,
or
you
does it
can.
matter?
You need some impact vibration, so you need to hit something. So turf usually, like if you just swing the club, you're not gonna. It needs to detect what is the impact, right? So based on the swing detection algorithm that we have.
But can I take this to the range and hit
Yeah,
balls with it
yeah.
and not have it's not gonna like damage the
No,
hack
no, no. It's very
motion or
durable.
like
No, no. It's good. Like baseball coaches actually were asking about this a lot because they get hit with the balls a lot.
balls going like 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, but it's really durable. It hasn't had any problems.
Well, that's the one that laser thing I was telling you about. Like it's cool to show you that, like to make sure you're lined
Yeah,
up or whatever, but you can never hit a ball with it. The thing's gonna fly right off of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like it's not
yeah.
100% useful. It's only just for seeing like your motion.
Mhm.
So if somebody like me got the HackMotion, I set it up, I watched the videos, right, or on the iPad or whatever, on some drills to do, and then I can just do those drills, but I can also practice um, on my own once I start learning like where my wrist should be, and I can just hit the ball and become a better player.
Yeah. So you can do the drills. Some players just like working on the consistency that they're trying to get every time in the same range. Some like to fix certain swing issues. You can work on putting as well, or short game. So different type of shots. We have different tour player sample data that you can use to learn. So what exactly are the tour players doing? For instance, when they're hitting a finesse shot or a bunker shot or just a typical pitch shot. So that's really great as well.
So I'm looking at the data right now on your site. So like it shows you like the wrist angle, right? Or, at different
Mhm.
positions. So like, at address or at the top of your swing and then after impact, like obviously your wrist is moving throughout the entire thing.
Mhm.
It just should be within a range. Essentially, you're helping show people like your wrist should be here in all these different stages of your swing, right?
Yeah.
Within this range, whatever that might be, right? Like, I don't know, 0 to 10 or something. And then it's like,
Mhm.
okay, you're outside that range on your backswing, or you're outside that range on your follow through, or you're outside that range at address.
Mhm.
Like, so you can literally break down what your wrist angles are at throughout the entire swing. Now, what
Yeah.
do you think? okay, let me ask this question to you then. Like, how important is wrist angle? I mean, there's a million things to worry about in golf. So
Well,
why is wrist angle so important?
well, it's really the club face determines like more than 80% of where the ball direction. So if you don't control the club face,
Does
you're
it
not going to
really?
yeah. So it's if you look, that's actually one of the big insights from launch monitors. Like TrackMan previously, uh, players thought that path is maybe more determining for the ball direction, but it's actually the face. So the best players are better at controlling the face, and we see that consistently. Like if you put it on a typical amateur, those wrist angles are all over the place, and they're not controlling
Dude,
them.
I cannot wait to see what mine are. Mine are probably totally bad.
Yeah, and when you look at the professionals, they have this really nice, like completely different pattern. So if you learn that, then you're gonna have so much less, variables in your swing that you don't have to adjust to, and it's going to be just so much easier to be consistent. And then you can also combine hitting with power. Like every time a typical guy tries to add additional power, he just like cups the wrist super much, opens, and then he tries to time it perfectly, while those professionals, they just like can maintain those wrist angles, control the club face, and then they can add power and keep the direction straight.
So what does the HackMotion cost?
So it's the player version is 395, and then the pro version, which contains additional data, and
Those are for coaches, right?
yeah, it's more for coaches, but also a lot of actually those amateurs which are super much into data. It costs 965, and we give a chance to upgrade from one to the other. So a lot of our users actually, they initially buy the player version, and then they like the data so much, so okay, I want more data, I want more, and they upgrade then.
Um, but when you buy that HackMotion, like the whatever version it is, so you get the HackMotion device, right? It's a physical device you put on your wrist. Um, and then also you probably get an access to the software, whatever
Yeah,
model you have, correct?
yeah.
Is it subscription based the software or is it not?
No, we don't charge any additional subscription, so you can use it on your own. You can use it as much as you want. You can also use it like with your buddies.
That's cool. I think it's kind of cheesy when like a company makes you spend a bunch of money on a electronic product and then they put you on subscription on top of it. It's like, bro, I just spent $500 or $1,000. Now you're gonna pay me $100 a year? Kiss my ass. Like seriously, like that's like that's how you piss people off. So then the next time when they have a choice, they're not gonna buy your product. I'll just tell you that because I'm like, I'll go with that guy who doesn't charge me subscription. You know, I'm not gonna name names, but you
Yeah,
guys know who you are. I think it's annoying. Um, so have you used it? Like, has it helped your game?
yeah.
Now that
Actually, I didn't know that I was myself that much extended, and I really learned a lot from those coaches who are using it and who were creating those education materials and understanding, my swing much better, and that has definitely helped me. Like I was as a junior, actually, I was quite risky, and I was always not sure why I'm so inconsistent sometimes, and my shots are so spinny. Like I was because I had quite a lot of extension and this coming very steep, so I could time it well, but it was I didn't have the consistency. I could one day shoot a great score, and the next day I wouldn't have the timing and I wouldn't do it. And while those really good guys, they're just so much more consistent because they have less, this variables to try to time. So it has tremendously helped, actually.
um, if I as a average player, let's call it.
Mhm.
I mean, it sounds like this is something that I can't wait. They're sending me one, so I'm excited to try it out. I mean, we wrote an article on it a long time ago, but now they got a whole new update, and I'm like, okay, let's do some cool stuff. But to see just exactly what is wrong with my, I have a feeling like after learning this from you, and then going to the website and seeing all like the graphics and all the video you guys have, like it's crazy to see like how much your wrist can really change the trajectory of the ball, like a lot. Like
Mhm.
it's the difference between like a slice and hitting it straight, essentially. I don't know, it just kind of blows my mind to see that.
Yeah,
If
that's
you if you if you're a high handicap golfer or a mid handicap golfer, let's call it, like what would you recommend to these players when in regards to the HackMotion?
Well, I would recommend really to work on the club face control that I spoke about. That's like number one issue, usually, that the players open or close the face too much, and then it's hard to hit those shots straight. Like if you are not able to be a single digit handicap, most likely then your consistency is key, and most of you are slicing the ball. So that usually results from an open club face, out to in path, trying to time it perfectly, which rarely happens. So if you get that face more square, your path is going to improve, and you're gonna hopefully get to single digits, and then work on the short game.
Has any of your customers like come back to you and say, "Holy crap, this thing has like changed my game"?
Yeah, we have special work chat, like a channel where we provide the customer feedback. So we have a lot of those. Like it's like, oh my god, I didn't know how cupped I was getting, and like I have been slicing for 30 years, and now I fixed it. Thanks, guys. Like so, a lot of great feedback there.
That's cool. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like you don't know what you don't know. Like I didn't know. I
Mhm.
didn't know any of this. You know,
Yeah,
like
I
you
mean,
think,
it's also about education. It helps you, like it's a learning experience. Like you just understand, same as when you get a TrackMan or a launch monitor, you just didn't know those numbers at all, or you didn't know your swing
yeah,
path.
but you don't even know like what causes those numbers. Like that's the thing too. Like there's a big learning curve. Like, oh, I got TrackMan or Rapsodo or
Mhm.
whatever. But like, what does all that mean? What is smash factor, and why does spin matter, and what side spin do, and like then you use learning curve, but just meaning what does that data even mean, and then you start understanding what that data means. But then it's like, what the next missing component is? Why am I doing that? Right? Like, okay, this
Yeah,
is what I'm doing, but what's causing me doing that? Like, and that's where you guys come in, is because you're like, okay, you're doing this because of this right here, not because of this over here. And I think
yeah,
like it's the building blocks of the swing essentially.
yeah, exactly. And I think that's part of why people love playing golf. Is I personally love just learning, also like trying different shots, like feeling the improvement. It's like kind of self improvement process that you can do.
Dude, it's the best feeling in the world. Like it sucks. Like I was at the driving range yesterday. It's 110 here, so it's super freaking hot. And I was at the driving range, sweating my ass off, and I was just doing like chip. I was just chipping, right? I mean, I was on the range. I was hitting like like a 9 iron, kind of like long chips, and you know, they're all not that great. But when you get the ones that are good, you're like, oh yeah, now I'm starting to feel it. And then, or when you start finding that little thing, it's like, oh, that's what I've been doing wrong. My feet placement's incorrect, whatever it might be. Like, I don't know. I think the best feeling in the world is when you walk up to you're on the course and you hit a really good shot, and you're like, that's why I play golf, right? Like that shot right there, not the other 89 of them that sucked ass, but this one right here. So I mean, that's kind of the fun, is just trying to learn the learning part of it. And the thing about this too with the HackMotion is like, you don't have. I mean, you can get an instructor. That's cool. I mean, I have multiple, but like this will teach you yourself by instant feedback as to what's going on with your swing and what's going on with your wrist. And maybe not as bad as you think you are. Maybe this is the one thing that's holding you back from
Hmm.
being more consistent.
Yep.
So where can people find the HackMotion?
Well, most customers buy it on our homepage, hackmotion.com. So we do worldwide delivery, like 3 days, usually the expected delivery time.
Where
We're
does it ship
gonna,
from? Latvia?
yeah, we ship from Latvia. We're gonna be
Holy
on Amazon actually
crap.
now, and but express shipping actually nowadays works so fast. Like we can
Dude,
ship to.
you're gonna blow up on Amazon. I'm gonna tell you right now. Like seriously, tech
Mhm.
sells like crazy on golf tech on Amazon. It doesn't matter what the price is. Like, I mean, Rapsodo sells a ton of them. I don't know. I know that. But when are you guys gonna be on Amazon?
It's now we're actually preparing the listing, so it's in upcoming weeks or maybe
That's a
this week.
huge pain in the ass. I'm trying to do
Yeah,
that too.
it's a lot of technicalities to get everything sorted.
So are you drop shipping it? Are you like sending it to Amazon and then it's gonna be FBA or something? So you have to ship it from Latvia?
We're gonna do both. Like initially, we're gonna do the drop shipping, and then we're gonna do fulfilled by Amazon. So it's just a bit more technicalities there.
So you have to send a bunch of those to the United States, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah,
Like,
we sent some boxes there, and then they ship it.
no, that's cool. I mean, so what's? I mean, I just got this package. Like I was telling you, I was talking before the show that you guys just sent me, and it was sent via DHL, and it got here in. What's it say? You sent it on. Holy crap, dude! You got here in like 4 days. That's crazy from Latvia. That's far. I mean, I don't. That's nuts. So I mean, even if you do order from them online, you're gonna get it within a week, like within that week, most likely. It's
Yeah,
DHL.
usually it's 3 to 4 days. Yeah.
Yeah, 3-4 days. I mean, it's DHL, so it's not like, oh, we're closed on the weekends. So, I mean, it's kind of cool that it's that fast, and they're literally shipping it halfway across the world. So, if people want to find you, they can check out hackmotion.com. And then, are you guys on social too?
Yeah, Instagram HackMotion, Facebook HackMotion, Twitter HackMotion. So
There are the
all those.
HackMotions.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to like play with this now, like to play with this in the data, because I think it'd be fascinating to see if this is my problem. And I didn't even know this was a problem, to be honest. So, I mean, now that I see it, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. It's because everything could be set up, but if your wrists are flopping around, and you're gonna lose complete control of that ball when you hit it. So, that's awesome. So, thank you for being on the show.
Yeah.
You guys
Thank
need to
you.
check out HackMotion, and be sure to check out Reinholds. If you guys go to Latvia, he'll hook you up and he'll show you what to do. And
Yeah.
I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Yeah. Pleasure being here.